Multi-vector integration is Kazakhstan's chosen course of development, and the program, Single Market. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. As an addition to this wise saying, I will allow a small variation. When these steps are taken towards each other, the distance is conquered much faster than when they are taken in different directions. Hello, my name is Pavel Koktishev. You're watching Single Market. Kazakhstan, Turkey, the synergies of partnership. Coal market, the lustre of stone coal does not fade that easily. Joint enterprises, experience as the most important asset. And coming right up, technology trends in the banking business. Billing aggregators, cryptocurrency, crowdfunding. The creation of these innovative instruments was not initiated by the banking industry. However, in recent times, banks, as if having just woken up from a deep sleep, have set out in the pursuit of the revolutionary technological trends. If in 2009 this innovative strategy was taken up by only 37% of the banks, by 2013 their shares reached 60%. Let's put together all the trends that will, one way or another, become a reality for the banking sector of Kazakhstan. For both segments, having suffered the consequences of the crisis and seeing almost no prospects, this may be seen as a cure-all solution. Experts are forecasting that banks will begin concluding long-term agreements with mobile operators, and by 2020, this process will result in the establishment of bank and mobile operator conglomerates, the so-called virtual banks. This is also one of the more interesting trends. These types of banks effortlessly outplay its more traditional competitors. The key to success, synergy of contemporary social trends. In the West, Europe, and North America, virtual banks are quite popular. Consumers are attracted by their proactive engagement on social networks and their banking model of personal participation in the resolution of their problems of each client. Next trend, electronic money. Despite the fact that almost all the banks in Kazakhstan have lit up with the idea of emitting e-money, the banking lobby is still not warmed up to this instrument. In the meantime, it could present some serious competition to payment cards. In Kazakhstan, this market, due to the low emission and transaction cost, is almost 100% controlled by international payment systems. It is worth mentioning the opinion of the former head of Kazakhstan's National Bank, Grigory Marchenko. He noted that e-money should only be emitted by central banks and tied the appearance of surrogate payment instruments with a threat to national security. By the way, speaking about the security of the banking system, this trend has already started leaving a sour aftertaste in the minds of a lot of people and undoubtedly requires a separate discussion. And instead of an afterword, a pessimist would say that Kazakhstan's banking sector is at the periphery of technological innovations, to which an optimist would reply, we have all the capacities to filter out new technologies that have already been tried out and choose the ones that really have potential. Each experience of trade and economic relations has to be analyzed, taking into consideration a great number of details and nuances. Here is a concrete example. In the list of countries, investors into Kazakhstan's economy, Turkey is in 15th place. However, if we exclude the market of raw materials, in this case the oil and gas sector, Turkey enters the list of top 5 investors. The trade and economic relations between Kazakhstan and Turkey started forming from the moment Kazakhstan established its independence. Among the main goods that Kazakhstan exports to Turkey are mineral resources and products produced from them, oil, metals, reinforcement for pipelines, rolled steel and accumulator cells. Agro products such as grain, cotton, wool, and leather are also among the leading exported goods. A large share of goods that are exported from Turkey, unlike the goods from Kazakhstan, has a high value added. These are production lines, equipment for the processing enterprises operating in the food industry, and basic consumer goods, clothing, footwear, and household appliances. For a long time, mutual trade turnover was developing quite dynamically. However, in the last 2 years, a downtrend has been noticed. In 2013, exports from Kazakhstan decreased by 8% in comparison with the previous year and amounted to $3.1 billion. During the same period, exports from Turkey fell by 3%. In 2014, the volume of exports and imports between the two countries amounted to only $1.2 million. It is most likely that this downtrend will continue in 2015. Among the main reasons are the worsening of the geo-economic situation and certain increased costs connected with Kazakhstan's membership in the Eurasian Economic Union.
Because it will become more difficult for Turkish goods to be competitive in Kazakhstan. Because with the Eurasian Economic Union, the rising transportation costs, the cost of Turkish products in Kazakhstan will increase.
By the way, the information about Turkey's potential membership in the new economic union, which began circulating in the summer of last year, is far from the truth. However, Turkey's participation in the free trade zone that will be functioning within the framework of this union is another case for discussion.
This is possible, but this is not the same as saying Turkey will join the Eurasian Economic Union as a fully fledged member. I think we have to really, define the terminology here. And I think in the press, this terminology is not well defined.
With the participation in the free trade zone, Turkey has the possibility to export its goods across the territory of the Eurasian Economic Union under preferential conditions. And this will lead to the expansion of the geography and volume of its exports. This is because the new economic union is interested in multi-level cooperation. Another important aspect of the trade and economic relations between Turkey and Kazakhstan is the establishment of businesses on each other's territories. The volume of Turkey's direct foreign investments into Kazakhstan's economy amounts to about $2 billion. The main target sector is construction. Turkish companies took an active part in the building up of the left bank of Kazakhstan's capital city.
Never mind the construction sector. Look at the other sectors. In the pharmaceutical sector, we are here in Kazakhstan. In the small and medium-sized enterprises sector, we are here in Kazakhstan. In the textile sector, we are in Kazakhstan. In the education sector, we are in Kazakhstan. In the health sector, we are in Kazakhstan. In the services sector, we are in Kazakhstan. Whatever sector you look at in Kazakhstan, Turkey is present.
Today, Turkey is expressing its interest in the creation of joint enterprises. Within the framework of the second stage of the development of Kazakhstan's economy, Turkey is ready to take part in the organization and construction of the infrastructure of our country. One particular project is already in the works. An industrial zone where top-of-the-line production facilities will be located is to be established in the South Kazakhstan region, with the attraction of the efforts of the business circles from Ankara. This will be an example of the synergies of Kazakhstani-Turkish cooperation within the new geopolitical realities.
Kazakhstan is changing. Kazakhstan wants to transform its economic model from a raw materials export-based economic model to an industrial exports-based model. We are proud of Kazakhstan's achievements. We are proud of these achievements as if they were our own, as if we.
Kazakhstan's coal reserves are estimated at 33 billion tons. According to experts' forecasts, these reserves are sufficient for another 250 years. There are 33 companies that are operating in the coal mining sector in Kazakhstan. One of the features of Kazakhstan's coal is the relatively low price and the ease of its preparation, along with the relatively good quality. Does all this guarantee a warm place under the sun for this resource on the international markets? Alexander Galiev will tell us more on this. According to the data of British Petroleum, which was published in the Statistical Review of World Energy for 2014, Kazakhstan's coal reserves amount to 33.6 billion tons. That's 3.77% of world reserves, putting our country in 8th place in the world ranking. It is worth noting that Kazakhstan has good export prospects. What's more, these prospects encompass not only the Russian market. We're also talking about the regions of Ural, where the delivery of coal from Ekibastuz has been re-established. Many experts are seeking a link between the export potential of Kazakhstan and its geographic location. Our country is located much closer to the developing markets of China and India than other countries. Already today, almost a quarter of Kazakhstan's coal is destined for export. Now let's take a look at the domestic market. 74% of the country's electric energy is produced at the coal-fired thermal power stations. Within the framework of the clean energy strategy, Kazakhstan has taken on a responsibility for lowering the share of coal-based fuel. However, taking into consideration the current state of affairs, this will be happening gradually. Hence, for at least the next 30 years, coal will remain being the dominant resource in the energy basket of the country. For now, we simply do not have alternatives to this cheap and accessible source of fuel. The development of our coal market will be based on energy efficiency considerations. Preferences are given to technologies that increase the efficiency factor coefficient and lower the impact of carbon dioxide emissions on the environment. It is expected that investment into the coal energy sector in the next 10 years will amount to a couple billion US dollars. We should not forget that coal is not only energy. It is also a resource for the chemical industry and one of the most important elements in the metallurgy processing sector. Even a number of trace elements are extracted from coal, such as ammonia, benzene, aromatic hydrocarbons, lead, vanadium, zinc, and others. This is just an incomplete list of coal-based products. And finally, coal is used in the hydrogenation process, which is necessary for the production of liquid fuel. Therefore, we can see that coal has already secured its place on the market. Even if its share in the production of energy decreases, it will still remain important as a resource for advanced conversion. My name is Alexander Galiev. Until next time on Single Market.
До встречи в Single Market.
Today, there are 800 joint enterprises operating in Kazakhstan with the participation of the South Korean capital. These companies are valuable for our country not only from the perspective of attracting potential investments. They also present an asset from the viewpoint of transfer of industrial know-how of South Korea in the spheres of technology and management. This company has been on the Kazakhstani oil market for already 10 years. It is one of the partners of the national company Kazmunaygas. Over this time, the South Korean National Oil Corporation invested $1.3 billion into Kazakhstan's oil sector. It shares 1% of the overall volume of Kazakhstan's oil. Every day, the South Korean corporation produces 23,000 barrels of oil. In monetary value, this amounts to $600 million annually. One half of the oil products that we produce are intended for the Kazakhstani market. The rest goes to Russia and China. Currently, the world oil market is experiencing turbulent times. Revenues of a lot of companies working in this sector are falling to lower oil prices. Some of them are even worried that they might not be able to withstand the ensuing competition. However, our partners from South Korea are quite optimistic. Out of all our business partners, Kazakhstan is considered by us as a very reliable country and a profitable market. This is why, in the next 5 years, we are planning to double our oil production. The corporation is sticking to its previously set plans. For example, during its operating time in Kazakhstan, the South Korean partners of Kazmunaygas have purchased a number of shares of large oil companies. In 2011, it purchased 95% of the shares of Altius. It also managed to conclude an agreement on the purchase of the shale stake of the American Anadarko Petroleum Company. The deal amounted to more than $500 million. The year after, its subsidiary enterprise bought a 35% share of Roxy Petroleum for $5 million. Today, the South Korean National Oil Company owns a number of oil fields that are located in the west regions of Kazakhstan. Aristan, Akjar, and Aktobe. The volume of oil reserves in these mine fields is estimated at 180 million barrels. The company, in conjunction with its mining activities, is also looking for new oil fields on the territory of Kazakhstan. This is exemplary of the long-term plans of this company and its operations on Kazakhstan's oil market. That's all for today. As a reminder, all of our episodes are available on the website www.kazakh-tv.kz. Until next time on Single Market, a territory without borders.